we have something called machine learning terminologies, something we always say in the field of machine learning or data science, and you should know about it. The first thing is algorithms. What is an algorithms? In real, in traditional programming, they are called as a set of instructions, okay? But in the field of machine learning, there are a set of rules, okay, and statistical techniques that used to learn patterns from the data and draw significant information from it. I mean, remember when I said we give the data and the machine learning algorithm itself find those patterns. Now those, if the algorithm was kind of like a tissue box, if you have a tissue box and you open that tissue box, you'll see a bunch of tissues inside of it. Okay, this is like a tissue box. If algorithms was like a tissue box and you open it, you will see some statistical algorithms, okay, bunch of weird algorithms and stuff like this. And this algorithm is the one who find the patterns in the data, okay. And then we have something called model. Now model is one of the main components of machine learning. And remember when I said we have a data and then we feed it to machine learning algorithms, and the machine learning is this box, and inside of it is a bunch of statistical techniques and stuff. And then when it finds the data, it creates a model for me, okay. And the model is a trained data according to this one. So I have a data, I feed it to the machine learning algorithm. That machine learning algorithm is a bunch of statistical techniques who finds the pattern. Algorithms is the one who finds the patterns. After he finds the patterns, he will create a model for me, and then I will check if this model was accurate or not, or if it gives me exactly the output or not. I'm going to explain this in details in the next slide. So if you didn't get it, just bear with me, okay. A model is the main component of machine learning. A model is trained by the machine learning algorithm. So these are the steps: data, machine learning algorithm. After the machine learning algorithm finds the patterns in the data, it will create for me a model, okay. Predictor variable, it's a feature of the data that can be used to predict the output. Remember in the diabetes, we have bunch of columns and rows. These were features, and the last one, let's say got a diabetes. Let's say 1 means yes, he got the diabetes, 0 means no. This, the last column is the response variable, is the feature or the output variable that needs to be predicted. We want to predict this column, so this is the response variable. And response variable, what depends on these variables or these features. So these are called predictor, and this one is called response variable, okay, or the output variables. These are called attributes, features. Most of the time they call it in machine learning features, okay. Training data helps the model to identify key trends or patterns essential to predict the output. Testing data, after the model is trained, it must be tested to evaluate how accurately it can predict an outcome. This is done by testing the data. Let's say I have 10,000 images of cats. I'm not going to use the entire 10,000. I'm going to use only 8,000 for training, and I'm going to feed it to the model, and then to the algorithm, and the algorithm is going to make for me a model. And then the other 2,000 which are left, which haven't been seen by the algorithm, I'm going to give it to the algorithm and tell him to tell me if he predicted the image correct or not. Again, I'm going to explain in details in the next video, okay. See you in the next video. Okay, let's take an example here. And let's say you went to your friend's house and she offered you a bunch of cupcakes, and you took this cupcake and you really liked it, and you were like, you know what, can you give me the recipe? And she was like, no, I won't give you the recipe. So what you did, that you took a bite of this cupcake and you started to analyze the recipe in your head, and this is how the recipe in your head was looked like. Okay, now because you've been eating and taking bite from this cupcake more and more, so the recipe was a little bit changing. Let's say instead of 10 gram of flour, it became 15, or it became 20. So in order for you to know that you're actually going to make an exact the same cupcake that your friend made it, you took another cupcake from her house and you took it to your home. Okay, this is the original cupcake, the one that you would like to make at home. And in your brain you started writing the recipe and the ingredient. You know that it's going to be milk, but you don't know how many milliliter or liter is going to be, and so on. What you did when you took a bite, your algorithm in your brain started to find the patterns, and the patterns was this recipe. Okay, and then when you made this pattern, your brain was the algorithm who was finding the rules or the recipe. Here the rules are recipes. Okay, and after you made the recipe, the first cupcake you made from this recipe was this one, so we'll call it model 1. And you took bite from the model 1 and you were like, you know what, it tastes almost 91% as the final one. And so you took another bite from this one, because this one you already ate it at her home. You took this one from her home in order for you to match it with this one, the one that you're going to make it at home. This was made at home after your brain made the recipe in your head. So the recipe was the algorithm, the rules, and the model was the first cupcake you made. Let's say you made a lot of cupcakes. At the end, you were able to make something similar to the first one, which was, let's say, 95%. Maybe the secret was in the toppings or whatever. So this is the difference between algorithm and model. Okay, the training data was that you kept taking bites from the original one. The more bite you took, the more your brain started to find the correct patterns. Okay, maybe there was something here, maybe there was something, let's say a cream here inside, and if you only took a bite here, you won't get to this area. The moment you took more bite and you reached the center area where you had to add, let's say, more butter. So the more bite you took, the more your brain started to give an accurate recipe in your brain, which is the training data. And the test data obviously was the output. You took a bite from the output, and then you were like, you know what, I still need to do more training. So you started to take more bite from this one. These two are original. This one and this one, these are the original cupcakes. Okay, maybe different in the image, the toppings, but if you can see that it's the same cupcake. Okay, I hope this example cleared things up, or maybe it made it more complicated, I don't know, but this is how it works in real life. I'm pretty sure the diabetic example, let me just go to the diabetic example here. Okay, you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way, let's say 10,000. Okay, and then I'm here to predict the outcome 1 or 0. Since it's a binary classification, then we're going to use the famous logistic regression. Logistic, because there is something called linear regression. So the classifier is logistic regression. Okay, this is the algorithms. We already chose the algorithm because we know that the logistic regression is used for binary classification. Here we have 10,000. I'm not going to take the entire 10,000. I'm going to take, let's say, 8,000 for training and the 2,000 remaining for testing. And these are called attributes or features. Here are called feature. Okay, and which one that I want this one. I want to know if this guy or this person got a diabetes. 1 means yes, 0 means no. Okay, so according to the terminologies that we have, the feature or the output variable that needs to be predicted, so response variable is the last one, which is 0 and 1, and the training and the predictor variable are the other features, which because of those I will be able to find this one. The training data is the 8,000, the first 8,000, and the testing data is the last 2,000. Maybe I can change it, but for simplicity I'm going to make the training is the first 8,000 and the testing is the last 2,000. And the algorithm that I chose was logistic regression. Why I chose logistic regression? Because logistic regression is known for binary classification. Okay, and the model, after I trained the data, I had a model, and then from that model I applied the test data on the model, and then I know if the accuracy of that model. Hope it was clear now. See you in the next video. Bye bye. In the last video, I explained about machine learning terminologies, but I think I need to explain it a little bit more. So remember in this example of the cupcake, let's go to the diabetes data, okay? And let's say we have data set here and here and here. These are the data set for people, okay, who got the diabetes and who didn't got the diabetes. And then since it's a machine, it's a supervised learning and it's a classification problem, I'm going to use 3 algorithms. Okay, here I'm going to use logistic regression, and here I'm going to use decision tree, and here I'm going to use support vector machine. These are all algorithms, and these algorithms are used for classification. Okay, after I trained the data to this algorithm, I have a model, and I will call this one our logistic regression model, because this model was created after the algorithm found or learned the data or the patterns. I feed the data to this algorithm, and the algorithms find the patterns and it learns it, and after he learns it, he creates a model, and I will call this one a logistic regression model. Why? Because this model was created by logistic regression algorithm. I think that's pretty much clear. Same thing here. I have a data, I trained it to the decision tree. After the decision tree learned from the data, he created a model, another model, and this one is called decision tree model. Why decision tree model? Because this model was created when decision tree learned, between brackets, found the patterns in that data. And same thing here, this data was fed to support vector machine algorithm, and then I have another model called support vector machine model. So now I have model number 1, model number 2, and model number 3. After I fed the test data to this model, I had an accuracy of 87%, and this one was 91%, and this one was 96%. So I'll say that support vector machine performed better than the other models or other algorithms. This is how it works. I kind of felt that the last video wasn't clear enough. That's why I made a part 2 of machine learning terminologies, as this thing that I just explained, it's kind of like the foundation for data science and machine learning. I hope now you know the difference between algorithm and the model. Okay, algorithms is a bunch of statistical techniques that are used to train the data. Okay, and model is created which represent the data. So I have a data here, I feed it to the algorithm learned the data by finding the patterns, and then it creates a model for me, and I'm going to call it logistic regression model because that model was created by the logistic regression algorithm. And then I'm going to test the data after I throw it onto the model, because the model now model is learned. Now the model was created after the logistic regression learned from the data, found the patterns. Then I will feed the test data. Logistic regression didn't see the test data because I was training only by the training data. Okay, and then I will have the accuracy of how accurate the model give me the accuracy of this test data. I hope now it's clear. See you in the next video.